Hello, everyone. As you can see, I've been teasing something for the past few weeks. I'm going to do a reboot of my favorite island I ever had. In the first episode of the new series, we learn the backstories for my starters, and I talk about what happened to Maple Bay and a little history on what the name of the new island means. I'm not having great luck with islands. What happened was I tried to load up Animal Crossing on my Switch Lite. The game would load up to the loading screen, but it would not go off the loading screen. It was stuck in a loading loop. It was on the screen for 10 minutes and wouldn't load up. It happened before, and I remember what happened back in 2022. My mom called Nintendo and they said it was a thing that can happen. They said to check for corrupted data. There wasn't any. So I checked all games for the corrupted data and still nothing. So they told her that sometimes games can get stuck on the loading screen. They said the factory reset is the only way to fix it. So I followed the steps again when it happened currently on my Switch Lite. So I restarted. I don't know if I get the island data back if something is wrong with the save file. So I just restarted the island. I'm watching a series that a great friend, Simulation Fluffy, is making. She's redoing her first ever island all over again, but she's changing it up a little bit. When I lost Maple Bay, I thought of what Andy's doing on her new series, and I remembered my favorite island that I had and lost, Elowin. So I'm going to do a reboot of Elowin. The name Elowin means a lot to me because the name comes from my background. I have English ancestry on my mom's side. The word Elowin is Cornish for beautiful elm. The word Elowin represents strength and growth and a deep connection to nature. In folklore, elm trees are often associated with protection. I really love nature. I see the beauty in nature, especially since I love taking photos and photography is a hobby of mine. I can see the beauty even more in nature because I look at nature through photography eyes. I'm still going to do the same as I was going to do on Serenity and Maple Bay, but I'm going to do it on Elowin. I'm going to base 90% of the island on my mom's friend's family's ranch in Topanga, but the neighbors' yards are going to be decorated based on their backstories. My starters are Hamlet and Plucky. I'm glad I found Plucky again. She's my bestie. I've had her as a neighbor before on a few islands. She's really kind. I'm also really happy I found Hammy. I've had him as a neighbor before, and he's really cool and very kind also. Growing up, Plucky was a quiet kid. She didn't like being around people she doesn't know. She always loved music and knows a lot of facts about music and will tell you the facts about music if you ask her. She grew up in Savannah, Georgia, but she feels like she belongs in California. She will talk your ear off about California as well. She feels the beach is her home. They asked her what she wanted to be when she graduated high school, and she said she wanted to go to college to be a DJ. The teachers and the guidance counselors said that she'll never make it and she'll be working at a grocery store. After hearing that, she told herself that she was going to do it. Before she graduated, they told her they were going to set her up with a job at a grocery store in town. She told them that she's not interested in the grocery store job, that she wants to go to college to be a DJ. Of course, they didn't listen to her, and they set up a job interview with a local grocery store in town, which is the worst place to work in the whole entire town, because the place didn't care about its employees. They cared about the customers and treated their employees like dirt. They told her that her going to college to be a DJ on the radio is living in a fantasy land, and that she'll never make it to be a DJ on the radio, and that to trust them about working at the best grocery store in all of the town, even though it wasn't the best. Plucky never showed up for the interview. They called her mom and they told her, "Where's Plucky?" Plucky's mom told them, "She told you that she didn't want to work in that grocery store and that her plans were she's going to college and wants to be a DJ." The principal said, "Where is she?" Plucky's mom said, "Nunya." The principal asked, "What's Nunya?" Plucky's mom says, "None your business," and then hung up the phone. Plucky graduated college and got a job at her very first radio station, which was in downtown LA. Her first boss was really cool. She told her boss what her school did and tried to set her up with a job that she didn't even want, and tried to tell her that she wouldn't make it in college. The boss said, "Hey man, that's not fair. You know what? Why don't you just tell them a message on the radio, and if you want, we can record it, and then you can send it to the school, and then they can hear the message." Plucky said, "Yeah, that sounds great." And her boss said, "Just make sure that you keep it radio friendly." Plucky said, "Got it." The second segment after the commercial break, she said, "Welcome back to LA's top classic rock station. I would like to say to all the teachers at Maple Ridge High School in Savannah, Georgia, you told me that I wouldn't make it and tried to force me to work at a grocery store. You told me I'm living in a fantasy land. Well, here I am, sitting here in a studio in LA doing my dream job. And for everyone out there who told you that your dreams are something that you cannot do, or that you're living in a fantasy land, listen to your heart and don't listen to them. Follow your dreams." Unfortunately, Plucky lost her job at that station because the station got bought out and the new owners fired everyone, including her boss. She got another job at another radio station. She worked there for a year, and her boss this time wasn't a nice guy, as the first boss was. But what happened was the station was sold, and everybody else but the owner kept his job. The boss, he sold out to everybody who worked on the radio. Everyone else followed the rules and didn't say that the radio station was changing formats at midnight. But when Plucky decided to go on the air, she did. She brought her own computer with music that she loves. She locked herself in the studio and said that today is the last show ever because the radio station was sold and everybody else was fired, including her. And she's doing whatever she wants since the owner of the radio station never listens to the radio at all. He doesn't even listen to his own radio station. The first hour she played 80s music. The second hour she played 90s country. The third hour she played Bakersfield Sound style of country music. The fourth hour she played bluegrass. The fifth hour she played grunge. And the sixth hour she played classic rock. The seventh hour she played psychedelic rock. And the last hour, she opened the phone lines up for requests as long as it wasn't the station's format, modern music. After that night, she went home to her apartment and couldn't sleep because she didn't know what was next for her until she saw an ad on the TV for the Nook's Deserted Island Getaway Package. She thought that it would be perfect for her to meet some new friends. Plucky was told about Elwyn, and she thought that this sounds like a perfect place. She met my second character and instantly became besties with her. It's like that she knew her for years. On the flight to Elwyn, she started talking to Hammy, and she learned about his backstory and became good friends with him too. Plucky is really shy around new people, but Plucky is a very loyal friend, and all she really wants is to have some friends that really care about her. Plucky treats her friends as family because she doesn't have much family. My backstory for Hamlet is that he was born in LA. Hamlet was a shy kid growing up. He kept to himself. He loves playing guitar. The high school he went to had an open-air alcove where kids could go outside and play hacky sack and just be outside during lunch. Hamlet liked to sit out there and play his guitar. One day he was just playing something he couldn't get out of his head. He started playing the song, trying to get lyrics for the song until his best friend and some of her other friends came over. She wanted to introduce Hammy to her other friends. They asked what he's doing, and he said he's trying to work on a song that he wrote, but he's blanking on the lyrics. Hammy's bestie and her friends love music too. They asked if he needed help. He said sure. They all played the song. Then Hammy's bestie started to sing about a breakup she had, and the lyrics fit the song. Everyone stopped and watched. They finished the song. One of the school resource officers was standing in the doorway of the alcove. He said, "Hey, you guys got something. Play another song." Hamlet is good friends with some of the trumpet players in the symphonic band. So 3 of the trumpet players that he's friends with in the symphonic band were there, and they had their trumpets with them. And Hamlet asked if they wanted to join them in the next song. Hamlet sang a song that he wrote about how someone is in love with their best friend. Hamlet always loved the sound of trumpets, so he thought that it would fit. The principal heard them, and he thought, free entertainment for the prom. So he told them that they're playing, of course, they'll get paid. Hamlet said when, and he kept saying soon. They realized that they are not getting paid. So they wrote a song about how they feel about the principal and they're going to perform it live for the principal at the prom. Before the prom, the principal gave them an envelope. They all thought that they were getting paid, but they opened up the envelope and it's a list of songs that he wanted them to sing. They said to themselves, nope. They did the songs that they wanted to do, and they played songs that the principal wouldn't like. After they graduated, they went to Nashville, but the record labels didn't want them because of their sound. They said that they sound too West Coast to be in the country scene, and they wanted a pop-style country, and they wanted them to change their style of music. They said that they're not going to be selling out their fans, so they went back to LA. The band decided to release music independently. They decided to record their first music video. One of them was in the Mojave Desert, and they decided to use their first song they wrote in high school. The video is of the band riding on a freight train going through the desert. There also filmed another music video in the streets of LA and at Venice Beach, California. Both videos are played a lot, and the same record labels who rejected them came crawling to them, wanting to sign them. They told them, you rejected us, and now we made it on our own. Now you want us to sign for your label? Well, no way. The band split up because the lead vocalist had issues with her voice. Hammy heard of the Nooks Deserted Island Getaway Package, and he thought it would be a great idea to spend his retirement and make more friends. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.